Hey everybody, welcome to a new year, a new video, and a new project. This is my 2003 Ford Mustang Mach 1. Stay tuned. I picked up this car the day after Christmas. It is now the first part of January. And I'm just getting around to making videos on it and introducing it. Don't worry, I still have everything else, including the 2007 Ranger over there. I do promise more videos for that will be coming soon. But this is an introduction video for this car. I decided, this is my third Mustang, and I decided after not having one for a while, after trading in my 2017 GT on the 2020 Tacoma, that I wanted another Mustang because they're a lot of fun to drive. And I had a 2001 Bullet, which some of you may remember. And while owning the Bullet, I also always really liked these Mach 1s. So just a brief history for those of you that may not know. Ford reintroduced the Mach 1 for the 2003 and 2004 model year after discontinuing it back in the early 70s, I believe. And for 2021, they're coming out with another Mach 1. So this car is in dark shadow gray. Again, like I said, a 2003. And it's pretty much nearly stock. I was looking for a stock version. Those of you that know, I usually like to buy stock vehicles just because they haven't been, modified by somebody else. And I can usually put my own stamp on them. So this one, aside from the window tint and the stereo on the inside, is completely stock. This car has been repainted. It was repainted last year in 2017, reportedly due to clear coat failure. I'm actually the third owner on this, and so it received a complete professional paint job in the same factory color of dark shadow gray. And those of you that are familiar with the Mach 1s may notice it does have the factory stripes on the hood and on the sides. However, they are glossy and not matte colored. And the reason being is because when the shop repainted it, they replaced the stripes and then they clear coated over everything. So there's actually no line right there. And while that's not preferable in my eyes, it is a quality job. And I've decided that honestly, because this is completely level and flat, if I wanted to, I could rebuy these stripes again in matte color and put them over. The same with the sides. And I know this dark shadow gray, it's kind of hard to see right there. There's not a lot of contrast with this. Maybe only black is the more difficult color to show the contrast. And moving around back here, the factory spoiler is also gloss black where it should be matte black, and that itself is easy enough to remedy if it bothers me, but quite frankly it matches everything else on the car with being gloss black rather than matte black. But some matte clear coat over this would be easy enough to remedy, so who knows. Like I said, it does have tinted windows, does have the Heritage wheels on it. As you can see, it is not lowered, and it does retain the factory exhaust system, which is not at all loud. And the car is too high, so I would definitely like to lower it. I have done a couple things to this car already off camera as far as cleaning and detailing, and one thing I did was I removed and reinstalled the Mach 1 emblem right there because it was not in its proper location, and that really bugged me. So I spent about 2 hours taking that off, cleaning up the adhesive, retaping, and did a lot of studying as far as where that is supposed to go on the back. And I think I got it pretty darn close to the factory location, so much happier with that. It was just whoever repainted the car just kind of stuck it there. It was in the same general location, but it was too far towards the tail light, so that's remedied. Oh, it does have LED third brake light. Not super crazy about that. I've never really cared for those. They're not too bright in my opinion, but those of you that know, the third brake lights always go bad on these cars. They just disintegrate. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, this car is like 18 years old now at this point. So, let's see. Oh, another thing I added was this blackout strip on the top right here, because these Mustangs, SN95s, New Edge Mustangs, they have what's called a frit or a dot matrix on the top. And when they tint those windows, it ends up looking terrible. So I thought to myself, there must be some sort of solution, and there actually was. Anchor Room sold this pre-cut panel, so it looks a lot better in my opinion. Moving on to the inside, like I mentioned, it is stock with the exception of this Pioneer head unit, which has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I do have the original 6-disc changer that came with the car. They did include that on the sale. I thought it was pretty important to keep that. So besides that and the shift knob, which they had changed out to a new leather one, those are the only two things that are not stock on this car. It even has the original floor mats. A couple big things, I'll go over to the other side. So I'm not sure if you are familiar with the values of these things right now, but I got this one for what I think is a pretty good price. I still paid a lot for it, but these things are going for anywhere between like $16,000 and $25,000 right now in the market, which is crazy. Or at least those are the asking prices. I don't know if they're necessarily getting those amounts, but this was like a $30,000 car when it was new, so that's kind of insane. Now those versions are for ultra low miles, pretty much cream puff versions, or the ones that are not holding values in my opinion are the automatics, this one being a 5-speed. But a couple things on this, couple reasons on this car were why I ended up paying what I think is a pretty good price. We got some typical wear here on the bolsters. As you can see, the leather's pretty worn and it's actually split right there. So definitely gonna get that repaired. And steering wheel is actually in really good shape. Well, it's excellent shape actually. The front seats, I mean the back seats are pretty much pristine. The front seats do have, the passenger side is actually in much better condition, but this right here bugs me a lot, as you can see, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but I can't live with that, especially with, you know, with this being, you know, it's an old car at this point. So another reason, and I've actually never seen this happen before, is the dash is actually cracked. So you can see right there. That, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I did order a dash mat to go over that for just temporarily until I can figure out what I'm gonna do, but replacing the dash in this car is a pretty big endeavor. I don't know if I wanna go through that. I have the option of possibly getting it fixed with some vinyl repair, but for right now, the dash cover will be okay. This car was actually from the high desert, so it was exposed to a lot of sun. I did replace these poles on both sides. These are super cheap, but the old ones were broken. This one has a mounting tab right there, and it was just completely broken off. So they're both replaced, and pretty happy with that. does have the signature shaker installed. So let's take a look at the engine bay. Okay, here under the hood. Now I've done quite a bit of work to this. It was pretty dirty. This was actually a daily driver. It was never a show car, but done a lot of work cleaning this up, and it is nowhere near where I want it to be, but it's a lot better than it was. So everything is complete, everything's intact. It's got the 32 valve V8, as you can see, the shaker hood, which is pretty cool. Cleaned up everything. I've disassembled, taken the shaker off, disassembled everything and cleaned it. I still have to take the battery out and clean underneath that. But I'm actually pretty happy so far. At some point in this car's history, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know why, but somebody sprayed what looks to me like some sort of clear coat all over everything. It was not Cosmoline, it was honestly just some sort of very thin clear coat that had turned brown and flaked off. Looked terrible. So it has taken me a while to get everything off and cleaned up. As you can see, that looks a lot better. All of this had that same nasty clear coat on there, but disassembling everything allowed me to get in there and make it halfway presentable. But like I said, I'm not nearly done with this. I do have new headlights on order. These are cheap knockoff crap that are in here. This one's broken and it's leaking, so later this week I'll have those. Headlights for this car are very, very inexpensive. I actually do have also some amber or yellow fog light lenses, which I will be installing, so I'll do a video on those. So moving on, there is some damage to the corner of the Mach 1 chin spoiler right there, which, I mean, that's very simple to change, but just one more thing I got to add to the list. Looks like somebody hit a parking curb right there. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's something I definitely want to fix. I guess we'll take a look at the trunk. The trunk is kind of full of junk, but do have the remotes. Done a lot of cleaning. I've removed these tail lights and cleaned behind them, cleaned inside the channels right there. And oh, this also does have a backup camera installed with the factory stereo, which is pretty nice. I did do that to my Bullet years ago, and just one of those modern things that I appreciate. So just wrapping up this video, I think I did forget to mention this car has 113,000 miles, which is not super low, but certainly not one of the highest mileage Machs out there. So trying to think what else. I did order a replacement shift knob and ordered a dash mat, like I said. Stereo sounds good. It's got the Mach 460. This does have the interior upgrade package, as you can see, with the larger headrests and the contrasting silver accents on the inside with the, I guess the silver lock knobs, whatever you want to call them. I did order some LEDs for the dash, and I'll probably also do some of the things I did with my Bullet, which included, I got some chrome gauge rings, but then I sprayed them with window frosting to make them look like a polished, or I'm sorry, a brushed stainless steel, which much more closely matched that silvery, I don't know what you call it, silvery color. And I was really happy with the way that looked, but the LEDs for the dash definitely something that has to happen. Those incandescents are very dim. So I will be doing some projects on this as well as the Ranger. Like I said, don't worry, hang in there. I just had to take a break for the holidays. Like a lot of YouTubers, you just get burned out after a while. So I needed to take some time off from doing projects, because this is a lot of work to put out one video a week, because you have to do the install, you have to film it, you have to edit, and then release the video, and then pretty much start over again. So it just got to be quite a bit. But this will be a nice distraction, and looking forward to doing some things with this car. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you like the new Edge Mustang SN95, and in particular the Mach 1, or if you even have one, let me know. And open to suggestions for lowering springs and exhaust. I think I know which way I want to go, but those are things that are gonna probably have to wait a little while. It's because it's a lot to buy another car and then turn around and put thousands more into it. So that's definitely gonna have to wait. Those projects will come trickling out. But for right now, I think this is a pretty good looking car, aside from the stance. Oh, and I did order, just maybe temporarily, I ordered some spacers for the rear, just to kind of fill out those wheel openings a little bit better. Can't do much about the height, but there's a lot of stock ones running around, so I don't feel too bad. Anyway, that'll do it for one more video. Stay tuned for lots more to come, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like the video, you like it. If you don't, well, that's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. But like everybody says, liking the video definitely helps the algorithm. So until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.